In the UK, Prime Minister Boris Johnson is said to be responding to treatment for COVID-19. Mr Johnson spent a third night at St Thomas's Hospital in London for close monitoring. The country's considering further lockdown measures after registering over 60,000 confirmed cases. The numbers in the UK are rising rapidly, and the country is still to reach a peak in hospital admissions. In the last 24 hours alone, 938 people died as a result of the coronavirus. Let's find out more and go to London to speak to our reporter, Vincent McAviney. Morning, Vinny. So Downing Street, the home of the UK government, have been updating the public on the condition of the Prime Minister. What is the latest on how Boris Johnson's doing?
Good morning, Rosie. Well, the Prime Minister spent his third night in intensive care at St Thomas's Hospital in central London, and we were told last night that he was responding to treatment, he is stable, and that he is now sitting up and able to communicate with doctors, which does raise the question, well, what was going on for the past 2 days? Because he was still not fully delegating all the responsibilities to Dominic Raab, his de facto Prime Minister, his de facto deputy, who wasn't really being described as the full acting Prime Minister. So a little bit of confusion in the communications, but we know that people can recover slightly and then deteriorate once again in ICU. So I think we'll be on sort of watch today once again to see whether or not the Prime Minister is moved out of there or how long he's in there. But either way, medical experts are saying it will take him weeks, not days, to recover from the experience that he's had. And as you mentioned, those pretty stark figures, the UK now approaching almost 1,000 deaths a day. The lockdown here was due to be reviewed at the beginning of next week, but I think everyone pretty much accepts that that is not going to be the case. We've already heard from parts of the UK, the First Minister of Wales, saying, look, there is going to be no way we can lift the restrictions now. We're not at the peak yet. It would waste all the gains that we've made, but we're still waiting in central government for someone to take that decision. And with the Prime Minister still laid up in hospital, it is not fully clear yet how this decision will be made, if Dominic Raab can make it unilaterally or if there has to be cabinet agreement, and if they'll set forth some kind of new timetable. So questions still around who is really running the country through this time of crisis. But as I said, we are told that the Prime Minister is recovering now, that he's responding to the treatment, and so we'll see whether or not we get any further updates today.